The general state of the issue following the Trump-Putin summit is one of continued uncertainty and stagnation regarding a resolution to the conflict in Ukraine. Despite both leaders describing the talks as productive, no concrete deal or ceasefire was announced. The summit's lack of a clear path forward means the ongoing war continues without a definitive end in sight. Ukrainian leaders, who were notably absent from the discussions, remain concerned that their interests and territorial integrity could be compromised in any future deal negotiated without their direct involvement. This situation reinforces the ongoing diplomatic challenge, where Russia insists on its maximalist demands, and Ukraine and its allies remain committed to a peace that respects its sovereignty. The lack of a breakthrough puts the onus back on Ukraine and its European partners to navigate the complex geopolitical landscape and maintain a united front against Russian aggression. The core reason for the lack of a deal at the Trump-Putin summit is the irreconcilable difference in their fundamental goals. Russia continues to demand that any peace agreement includes the international recognition of its illegal annexations of Ukrainian territory, which is a non-starter for Ukraine and its Western allies. Ukraine, on the other hand, views its territorial integrity and sovereignty as non-negotiable and has stated it will not cede any land. A significant contributing factor was the exclusion of Ukraine from the talks. The principle of nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine was disregarded, which made any potential agreement illegitimate in the eyes of Kiev. Russia's demands for Ukraine to halt military mobilization and for an end to Western military aid were also seen as attempts to weaken Ukraine and would have made it vulnerable to future aggression. The absence of these key parties and the vast chasm between their objectives made a meaningful breakthrough impossible. The outcome of the Trump-Putin summit in Alaska, while not a total failure, has created several significant consequences. For Ukraine, the most immediate consequence is the continuation of the war, as the lack of a ceasefire means the fighting will persist. This prolongs the human and economic toll on the nation. The summit's failure to produce a concrete plan also puts Ukraine in a precarious diplomatic position. With their representatives excluded from the talks, there's a heightened fear that their interests could be negotiated away in future discussions. For Russia, the summit was a major diplomatic victory, regardless of the lack of a deal. The meeting itself, a face-to-face with the U.S. president, served to break Russia's international isolation and provided a platform for President Putin to project an image of power and legitimacy. This could embolden Russia to maintain its current position and resist future peace overtures that do not align with its territorial demands. The global community is now left with a sense of instability and the realization that a swift resolution to the conflict is not on the horizon. Solving the current stalemate will require a fundamental shift in diplomatic strategy, moving beyond bilateral talks that exclude key parties. A viable solution must begin with a new round of internationally mediated negotiations, spearheaded by a neutral third party like the United Nations. This process must include direct Ukrainian participation to ensure its territorial integrity and sovereignty are the foundational principles of any agreement. A phased approach is crucial. The first step would be to secure an immediate, verifiable ceasefire, monitored by an impartial international force. This would create a de-escalation zone and prevent further loss of life. Following this, a comprehensive peace plan would address the phased withdrawal of Russian troops from Ukrainian territory. In exchange for a full withdrawal, the international community could offer a roadmap for the gradual lifting of sanctions, contingent upon Russia's full compliance. Finally, a robust security guarantee for Ukraine, possibly in the form of a binding security pact with Western nations, would be essential to deter future aggression and ensure lasting peace.